You ready to go to war? Because it's time to go to war. Let's get into it. Hey guys, how you doing? Derek here from M1 Realty. I'm the broker, owner, founder of the company. Started M1 in 2014. It was me and a laptop up on the third floor of an office building here in Ferndale, Michigan. Fast forward to today. We got the storefront right at the main corner of Ferndale. We're at 9 and Woodward. And I've got an all-star team of agents. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, invest, rent, we've got you covered. We even do property management now. So at least for the time being, the market has shifted a little bit and we're back to the old bidding war on almost every property. I know that's everybody's favorite topic. If you're a home buyer, that's exactly what you don't want to experience. But the good news is, I'm going to tell you how to win those bidding wars. So let's break it down real quick. All right, so here's the deal. I've been in this business 21 years. I have been in more multiple offer situations on the buy side and the sell side than I can count, like literally hundreds. So here are my tips for ensuring that at the end of the day, whether it's one other offer or 12 or 20 other offers, yours is the one that's going to get accepted. And a lot of this is common sense, or at least it is to me, but history suggests that not everybody's on the same page. So hence the making of this video, so that whether you're working with me or with somebody else, if you're looking to buy a home right now, you can tailor your offer in a way that is going to be the most enticing to a prospective seller. And I'll tell you this from the seller side, I've, again, been in a situation, hundreds and hundreds of times, right? So not always, but usually, I'd say in probably about 80% of instances, there's one buyer that just steps up and is just head and shoulders better than everybody else. Like every once in a while, we'll have a bunch of competing offers that are pretty close together, and then we have to kind of break them down, see which one's the best. But all in all, what we're looking to do here on the buyer side is just make your offer a no-brainer. So how do we go about doing that? There are some fairly simple steps to make that happen. First and foremost, and this is going to exclude the vast majority of home buyers out there, but if you can make a cash offer, that already really increases your chances of getting the home. So, it's very often we're in a situation where there's like maybe one cash offer or two and a bunch of mortgage offers. Immediately, the seller is drawn to the cash offers for a bunch of reasons. Number one, there's no appraisal needed. It can just close a lot faster. So that's really, in this market, not even in this market, just in general, the biggest question mark on any real estate transaction most of the time is the house going to appraise or not? Because if it doesn't, that can throw a huge monkey wrench into the whole thing. So if we can eliminate that appraisal and just move forward to the closing table without, number one, taking 7 to 10 days. Number two, to me, this is the most frustrating part of real estate is we're allowing just one random person who may or may not even live anywhere near our market or the house in question to dictate whether or not we have a successful outcome and the seller is able to sell, the buyer is able to buy. It's like one person's opinion of the value is outweighs everybody else's input on that property. So if we can get rid of that whole scenario, you're already ahead of the game. Now, again, the vast majority of people watching this, of just home buyers out there on the planet Earth, aren't going to have, cash on hand to purchase the property that they want. So if you're like the majority of home buyers and you're going to be using a mortgage, we need to make sure that your pre-approval is rock solid and yours is better than anybody else's. So let's talk about how we do that. Generally speaking, if your agent that you're working with has a preferred lender partner, they have that preferred lender partner for a reason, and it's because that lender partner has success at getting their buyers to the closing table. So I get it. Rates are important. Don't get me wrong, but going out there and scouring the planet for an extra eighth of a point off on your interest rate is maybe not the highest and best use of your time in this kind of a scenario. if we're talking about a house that's been in the market 115 days and it's just been sitting there and the seller's desperate to sell and they'll just take any offer that comes along and you're that concerned with rate, then knock yourself out. But if we're talking about a house that hit the market and we know that there's already a line of cars down the street waiting to get in, and we know we're going to have some competition, we need to know that whoever is handling the mortgage is a pro that knows what they're doing, that can make sure that we're going to have a flawless experience, and that's going to get it to the closing table quickly, efficiently, and without problems. Not to mention that those websites that promise the best rates in the world, most of the time those are a bait and switch and they're teaser rates. Anyway, that's another video for another day. Let's focus on getting you this house right now. So, like, for me personally, I've vetted my mortgage partners. Like, I can't even tell you. I probably get 4, 5, 6, 7 calls a week from loan officers that want to partner with me or my company, and 99% of them just get thanks but no thanks. I'm comfortable working with who I'm working with, and that's for a reason. That's because the people that I work with for mortgages are the best that I've ever seen anywhere. Like, I'm loyal for sure to my lender partners. But that being said, when I'm on the listing side of it, if I'm listing a house and a loan officer comes along and just like crushes it and makes it just a seamless closing, I'm gonna have a conversation with that person, because I want to know if they're going to be able to perform better than the people that I already work with. If they are, my loyalty is more towards you as a client than it is towards them as a partner. I want to make sure that I'm able to provide my clients, especially my buyer clients, with the absolute best representation out there. And as of right now, I think I've done that. For example, one of the mortgage partners that I work with is the best I've ever seen at getting first-time buyers who need down payment assistance to the closing table. It is just incredible what we can do for people that are in, definitely not, 20% to put down, like perfect scenario buyers, but people that need a little bit of extra help. We can get you that help and get you into that house in a pretty pretty seamless manner. The other lender partner that I'm working with right now, we're literally getting conventional mortgage buyers to the closing table in under 2 weeks. Like, under 2 weeks for a mortgage. Like, think about how just out of the ballpark crazy that is. Like, generally speaking, if you're a mortgage buyer, you're budgeting at least 30 days to close. We're getting you done in 12 on average. So, like, when you're talking about what you can do to strengthen your pre-approval, when you're going to that seller and say, well, all these other people are going to take a month to close, we'll get you done in 2 weeks. That's a big deal when you're in a multiple offer situation. Not to mention that for both these guys, if rates are, like I said, rates are important. Rates are ultra competitive, and the costs are pretty low, or like lower than average for most lender partners too. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. We're going to save you money, we're going to get you the house, and we're going to get you closed quickly and get you moved in. So, like I said, I've been very, very, very deliberate about who I work with, and if they can't deliver, I don't work with them anymore. So I've had plenty of lender partners that over the years, I've had to stop working with because they couldn't deliver, or things changed, or the customer service wasn't where it needed to be. Whatever the reason is, there's a lot of lender partners out there, but as of right now, I am blessed with who I have to work with and who I can refer business to my clients. Okay, so we're either going cash or we're using a baller loan officer to get your mortgage done. So we got that part out of the way. Let's talk about strategy on going up against all these other offers that you're going to have to compete with. Number one, you need to be aggressive. Like, I get it, and it's not what everybody wants in a home buying situation. It's so much nicer to just leisurely take your time, look at as many houses as you want, put an offer in on the right one, we'll negotiate the price. I wish we were in that market right now, but we're not. So here's what we need to do to make sure that you're getting that house, and that is go big on your initial offer. So what does go big mean? First and foremost, it means full price or higher on any house that you like. So, if it's just the perfect house, you might want to go like shoot for the stars on that initial offer and just hope that there's not multiple offers. Just give that seller an offer he can't refuse to, for lack of a better term. But, that's really what it boils down to. If you want to go, 5, 10, 50% over asking price, do it. If that's the perfect house for you, you got to go for it and get that house under contract. Like the way I look at it, 12 years from now, when the market's appreciated and that house is worth, double what you paid for it anyway, are you going to care that you went, 15, 20 grand over asking price to get it? Probably not. If that's the right house for you and you're still enjoying it a decade later, then you did the right thing. And that's just to get the house under contract. Once it is under contract and they can't accept any other offers, now we have the ability, to get a home inspection done on that property. And if there are issues with it, then we can start talking about knocking the price down a little bit to cover for those. Now, when I say be aggressive, I'm going to talk about a couple other things you can do. Notice one of those things that I'm not going to tell you to do is waive your inspection. I know there's agents and loan officers out there who are telling you have to do that. Like I know there are because I see it all the time. That's a bad idea. This is the biggest purchase most people ever make in their entire lives. Do you want to go into it blind and not know exactly what you're buying? That would freak me out. I don't advise that to my clients to do that. I think it's a terrible idea. And if you have to lose a couple houses along the way to get one where you can actually inspect it, trust me when I say you're gonna be happy that you did, especially if something pops up, because if you would have waived your inspection, that would be your problem to deal with for as long as you own the house. So let's eliminate that right off the bat, and you can be aggressive without kind of limiting yourself as far as that goes. Like we can do things like cut that inspection time down. Like normally I like to do 7 or 8 days for an inspection period. If we have to do 3, maybe we can do 3. If we have to do 1, we can do 1 most of the time. And let me make a couple phone calls ahead of time and line an inspector up. But generally speaking, we can get those done for you and accommodate you. But as far as how we're tailoring the rest of your offer, we want to make sure, like I said, we want to be aggressive. So when it comes to like mortgage contingencies, right? So normally we say we're going to formally apply for your mortgage within 5 days. We're going to give it 30 days to get a formal commitment from that lender. That's generally like the typical guidelines on a mortgage. We're able to cut those down significantly because, like I said, we can close in 12 days. We're not going to wait around. We're not going to put 30 days in to get a commitment from that lender if we know we're going to be closing in 12. We're going to say 7 days. We're going to say 1 day to apply for it. We're going to shorten all those timelines down where our competition can't or won't. We're going to be able to beat them there. And believe me, as a buyer's agent representing you as a buyer, I am going to emphasize that to the listing agent. Hey, listen, look at paragraph 2 of this purchase agreement. We're going to be able to get this in and out of underwriting way faster than anybody else, and we're going to be able to close it by the time this other offer is ordering their mortgage. We're going to be clear to close. Like that's huge. I'd say you can't put a price on it, but you can, and whatever price your house is, because you're going to be the one that gets it, and they're not. So that is, being aggressive on that. Other things that we can do is an appraisal guarantee. Those have kind of gone away, or they had gone away. They're back now because that's one of the main things you can do as a buyer to sweeten your offer and make sure that's the one that gets accepted over everybody else. And if you're not familiar with the term, what that means is say we're buying a $300,000 house and we need it to appraise for $300,000. So say if it's listed at 300 and we have multiple offers and you wanted to write 320 for that house because you really, really want it. That's like the perfect house for you. You're willing to go over and above. Now, the concern on the seller side is sweet. I want the house that's going to give me the most money, but it's contingent on appraisal. So what happens if that appraisal only comes in at 310? Now what? Now we've got a $10,000 gap between what it appraised for and what you've agreed to pay it for. What that appraisal guarantee means you're going to come out of pocket for that extra $10,000. So again, that's not a scenario where everybody's going to want to do that or be in a position to do that. But if you are, that's one of those things you can do to really, really enhance your offer and make sure that's the one that gets accepted over everybody else's. Now, if you are in a position to do that, here's what I need you to do. You need to get a current bank statement together or a letter from your personal banker and have that ready to go, because we want to submit that with the offer. We're going to give you the pre-approval saying, hey, you're approved up to, $350 or whatever on your $320,000 offer. But in the event that the appraisal comes in low, we've got X amount of dollars to come over and above it. Here's the proof. So, nothing in this business on the listing side, I'm not going to take somebody's word for it. I want to know that money's there before I advise my seller to go ahead and accept an offer. And then another thing that you can do, it seems pretty obvious to me anyway, but make sure that you're using an agent who's been in this situation before, knows what they're doing, isn't intimidated by it, because this is the only people that a multiple offer situation isn't stressful for usually is the seller. Like even the listing agent is going to be a little stressed out because, depending on the they're going to have a stack of offers that high that they have to go through and make sure that they're advising their seller properly to set them up for the highest level of success. So the seller, all they have to do is sit back and collect the money. On the buy side, it's very stressful for everybody involved. Like, don't just think it's not just you. It's an agent that is really advocating for their buyer, trying to get a house for them. In this kind of a market is not the easiest thing in the world. So if you've got somebody representing you that's been through it before, can do things like make a video that you're watching right now to help guide you and do what you need to do to get your offer accepted, that goes a long way. Especially, and I'm not necessarily, you have to go with somebody who's been in the business forever. Like, there could be somebody that just got their license today that's going to revolutionize this industry. But, a track record of knowing how things work helps, but also being able to establish a good rapport with the other agent is going to go a long way. Like right now off the top of my head, I can think of 3 homes that I've gotten for my buyer clients just in the past couple of years where I know for a fact we weren't the highest offer. Like we weren't. We had a really, really solid, great offer with a solid pre-approval, just all the stuff that I'm telling you about right now. And there are people that bid more than us and we got the deal. And that's because, I've got a reputation in this business for being able to close, for being honest and just working my butt off for my clients. But I'm also personable with other agents. I don't try and give them a hard time just to do it. Like, sometimes people deserve it and they get a hard time and they're not very happy with me at the end of it. But like I said, they deserve it. I'm not one of those agents that goes in just trying to show off and bully people. Like, we're a team. Like, once we're under contract here, let's work together. Buyer, seller, title, mortgage, inspectors, appraisers. We're all working towards a common goal. So let's do it. Let's be a team. Let's not fight all the way to the end here. So that definitely helps. And I can't overemphasize how much having an effective partner on the mortgage side helps as well, because usually it's a tag team thing. Like, they talk to me and the listing agent will talk to me and the lender partner, and if they get the sense that we know what we're doing and we're not just blowing smoke, that's what helps us get that deal, especially when we're not the highest offer. And again, not the video I was hoping to make today, but we're back in that scenario, and we very well may be for the duration of the year. So it's important enough to get this out right now so you know what to expect as a home buyer and even as a home seller. Like, there's something to be said for maybe not pricing your home at the very, very, very top of the market. Maybe bring it down a couple percent to generate more offers. You end up selling it for more than you would have otherwise. So something to think about, and obviously that's your agent's gonna advise you on the best course of action, and it's on a case-by-case basis. Every transaction is individual, but something to think about. But on the buy side, it's imperative that you're ready to do this in this market right now. So Hopefully this helps. If you have any other questions or there's something extra that you want to know about or I didn't touch on something enough, you can always reach out to me, direct line, call or text anytime, 586-491-5622. You can also reach me at 248-561-6155. Shoot me an email, dwerenka@m1realty.net. That's what I'm here for, guys. I'm here to help you out. Anything I can do, I'm honored to do it. Reach out anytime. You can also, DM me. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it. I'm on it. So until next week, thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And anything I can do to help you accomplish your real estate goals, that's what I'm here for. Thanks so much, and have a great day.